Not all financial advisors or their firms are built equally. If you're working at a massive institution or you're a client working with an advisor from a massive institution, there's undoubtedly some serious benefits you receive in the way of the brand value and the legitimacy. But I think more and more, you're just going to start missing out. So why should financial advisors break free and go independent? And why should a client even care? Let's dive in. First, I want to define exactly what I mean by independent financial advisors, because of course, there really is a spectrum. And what I'm talking about is this sliding scale. It's not yes or no, it's more of a gradient between autonomous and free in how they operate versus beholden to some superior structure that maybe tells them how to behave. And the purpose of this video is really to empower clients and advisors who are right for working alongside the independent channel to consider independence, and also to help clients understand why independent advisors provide maybe a unique proposition that they wouldn't get elsewhere, and vice versa. First things first, the major difference for me was just having control over my offer, right? Independent advisors have the freedom to design their own services, and so this allows them to focus on what actually matters to the clients rather than offering the legacy set of services that are enforced by their employer. For example, one of the things I always teach new advisors when they ask for advice is the importance of doing research on real people. Get on the phone, take 10 to 20 people in your target market, people who you'd really like to work with, take them out for lunch, take them out for dinner, on the house, right? Make it your goal to learn about them deeply. What dream outcomes are they trying to create? What pain points are in the way? What things about money or their finances are constantly bothering them? And then once you've collected that from 10 or 20 people that you'd like to work with, then you can cross-reference the data from the 20 meetings you had to determine the most common things people actually want and the most common struggles or pains in getting there, right? Because learning what they want and what they don't want is pivotal to your success. You see, it's funny to me because every other industry in the world places immense value on getting to know the customer, right? This was like Amazon's whole paradigm. But in our business, we all just kind of adopt whatever our firm says our service should be, and then we try to market and sell that rather than actually getting boots on the ground and finding out what we can do for people that actually matters to them. From there, you can customize an offer that actually helps the specific niche or avatar that you want, and you can offer certain services, brand it in certain ways, and advertise to a certain subset of people that are better suited for you because you're more specialized in their problem. This can be a huge competitive advantage over, let's say, a large, big branded institution where the advisors might be reprimanded by their overlords for stepping outside the bounds of what's always worked. Two, for me, a huge thing when going independent was control over my pricing structure. You see, big institutions often impose pricing structures that don't always reflect the value being delivered or the specific subsect of clients that you're trying to serve. And a huge breakthrough for me as an advisor is when I started charging fees that were more so in alignment with what was valuable to the client. You see, the clients could get cheap investment management elsewhere. There's discount brokers, there's robo-advisors, but a lot of them couldn't get solid financial planning and wealth coaching because they didn't have enough assets. So what we started doing was charging more for the coaching and advice and less for the ongoing investment management. The feedback was unanimous and very loud, right? It was loud and clear to us. People would say things like, this is what I've been looking for, and no one else is offering it. Now, the problem is when I've kind of ran this idea by other colleagues in my industry, they often say things like, oh, my firm would never let me charge that way, or we don't even have the ability to process payment that way. Independent advisors, on the other hand, they get to decide their pricing models, and they can offer hourly rates, they can offer flat fees, they can offer subscriptions, they can offer retainers, they can offer asset fees, commissions, whatever they want. And so this flexibility means that you're paying for what you actually need as a client. As an advisor, you're charging something that's consistent with where the value really is. For instance, if you're looking for a one-time financial plan, you don't have to sign up for some expensive ongoing service that you don't really require. I've found that this transparency in choice and pricing kind of empowers the client. It creates trust, and at the end of the day, there's far more people who are going to be a great fit if we can price it for different people. And third thing for me, which was huge, is control over my marketing, right? One of the coolest things about independent advisors is their ability to specialize their marketing. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, they can target specific groups like young dentists or electricians or telecom retirees. They have the freedom to use modern tools like social media workflows, paid advertising, email funnels, all in effort to reach their ideal clients, right? It's better for both the advisor and the client if the advisor is specialized in that particular client's problem. An independent advisor might specialize in helping doctors navigate student loan payments while planning for a high-income future, and then run specific marketing campaigns to find and service those people who they are specialized to deal with. And sure, there's nothing stopping a large institutional advisor from niching down, but the campaigns they can run and the funnels they can build always have to be vetted by a more bureaucratic system, vetted by compliance, and often shut down before they even begin. And so at our firm, if we can determine that there's a market pain somewhere that we could really help solve, we can have an offer and a marketing campaign running in days or weeks rather than months or years or maybe never. Fourth thing, which has been huge for me, is just the speed of technology adoption. You see, independent advisors have the agility to adopt cutting edge tools. In our firm, for example, we are currently working with a partner on a cutting edge AI-driven CRM and client analytics portal. Ooh, AI. Everyone's talking about AI. Yes, it's a buzzword, but the reality is the financial planning software and the advanced client portals that we're using are going to be incredible. The potential for these things is going to be crazy. I'm actually very excited to share all that on this channel when it goes live. Whereas in contrast, large institutions are often slow to innovate because of their size and bureaucracy. The very first firm I worked for, when I got there, said, hey, we're going to implement a CRM called Salesforce soon. It's kind of the newest thing. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Salesforce, that might allow me to create some API connections, do some innovative stuff. By the time I was leaving that firm 2 years later, they were still working on implementing Salesforce. So that's 2 years to implement a very basic part of your business. Now, in our situation, and imagine an advisor being able to use AI to generate dynamic financial planning projections that pull live data from your connected bank accounts, create tailored recommendations to your exact goals, and allows you to see the mechanics of how all this is working behind the scenes within a portal where you can communicate with your advisor, book meetings, track your investments, all these sorts of things, right? That's the power of independence and being able to adopt technology quicker, is that you could be the first mover on these new things that just enhance the client experience. So when advisors control their tech stack, they're able to offer faster, smarter, and more customized solutions, and they can implement that quicker than the other guys. And what does this mean in practice? Well, it means it allows us to spend more time on client success and less time on bureaucracy and administration and data entry. Now, fifth, another huge one for me is just freedom and lifestyle benefits, honestly. Independent advisors tend to be free to work where they want, when they want, and with whom they want. This flexibility means they can truly integrate into their niche or work from places that reduce the cost for clients. I know for myself, eliminating the commute and being able to work from the position of being the authentic version of me rather than a corporate representative who has to follow a certain set of rules has made me much happier and just more effective at work and with clients. I'm not confined to specific rigid office hours that are mandatory or a corporate dress code. Imagine working with an advisor who's having fun and they're free and they're energized and they're willing to help. Independence allows me to be more available for more people and allows for a more personal feel. And if you happen to be looking for a financial advice or wealth advisor, why would you even care about this at all, right? Well, in one word, I think it just really comes down to the speed of innovation. Independent advisors aren't bound by these corporate mandates. They kind of have the freedom to put their niche first, or to put you first. From things like flexible pricing to implementing cutting edge technology, they offer a level of agility that's hard to find elsewhere. And when your advisor has the freedom to charge you the way that you want to pay and provide more applicable solutions faster, and honestly, even finding you in the first place, you're more likely to achieve the financial outcomes that you are striving for if all of these things are set up for you specifically, rather than set up to facilitate some juggernaut of some massive institution. So if you're an advisor thinking about breaking free, it's definitely a leap of faith. I'm not gonna lie, it was terrifying, but it's been one of the most empowering things that I've ever done. And if you're a client, you might think about asking your advisor, are you independent? How autonomous are you really? And if they're not, it might be worth putting some thought into. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, do not forget to like, subscribe, share your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Until next time.